Hello, and welcome back to This Old Baker podcast, where we dive into timeless kitchen wisdom, lost culinary arts, and everything delicious. I'm your host, Kim Artlip, and today we're taking a deep dive into something that's been making waves in the food world, the return of lard and beef tallow. Now, before you wrinkle up your nose or clutch your olive oil bottle in horror, let's talk about why these traditional fats are making a comeback in home kitchens and restaurants alike. And I'm going to give you a little spoiler alert. It's not just about nostalgia. This is about flavor, sustainability, and even health benefits. So let me give you a little brief history about traditional fats. Lard and beef tallow were once kitchen staples. They were used for everything from frying to baking. Our grandmothers swore by them, and for good reason. They add unparalleled flavor and texture to food. But somewhere along the way, they got a bad reputation. The rise of vegetable oils and processed alternatives pushed these fats out of the spotlight, but now they're back, and for good reason. Historically, these fats were an integral part of traditional diets across cultures. In the early 20th century, lard was the go-to fat in American kitchens, where beef tallow was a key ingredient in everything from frying to soap making. But with the rise of hydrogenated oils and margarine in the mid-century, these natural fats were cast aside, largely due to misconceptions about cholesterol and saturated fats. And we've all heard those, haven't we? So why the comeback? Flavor like no other. Ask any seasoned baker or chef, they'll tell you that nothing compares to the richness of pie crust made with lard, or the crispy golden goodness of fries cooked in beef tallow. And the health benefits for traditional fats is they have fewer inflammatory properties than many processed seed oils. They're also rich in essential fatty acids and fat-soluble vitamins like A, D, E, and K. Studies are beginning to challenge the outdated belief that saturated fats are harmful, and they're showing that these natural fats may actually support metabolic health. Now, sustainability. I had to try to say that twice. Sustainability. Using lard and tallow reduces waste in the meat industry, and that supports a more sustainable way of cooking and eating. When we embrace nose-to-tail eating, using all the parts of our meat, we ensure that every part of the animal is utilized, reducing food waste and promoting a more ethical consumption. And cost effectiveness. Compared to expensive boutique cooking oils, lard and tallow are incredibly affordable. Many home cooks and homesteaders are even rendering their own, creating an economical and sustainable solution. So, let me talk a little bit, take a break here, catch my breath, cooking with lard and tallow. All right, so we can start incorporating these amazing fats into your kitchen. From rendering your own at home to swapping out your favorite recipes, there's so much potential here. Whether you're frying up crispy fried chicken, making flaky biscuits, or searing a perfect steak, these fats are going to take your cooking to a whole new level. In baking, you can swap butter or shortening with lard for pie crust, biscuits, and even cookies for a flaky, tender texture. And in frying, beef tallow is perfect for deep frying. It gives you a signature crispness found in classic fast food French fries. Remember how they used to be and they aren't? Now this is making sense to me. So, sauteing and roasting. Using lard or tallow instead of vegetable oil for frying eggs, sauteing veggies, and roasting meats gives you a richer flavor and taste profile. And DIY rendering. If you want to make your own, rendering is so simple. Simply slowly heat pork fat or beef suet until it melts. Strain and store in a jar for future use. Now, I've personally started to make the switch to incorporating more traditional fats in my cooking, and I have to say the results so far have been incredible. I originally was taught Crisco and lard, and over the years, lard left my repertoire. But my baked goods have improved in texture and flavor going back to lard and Crisco. I am slowly phasing the Crisco out, and the savings have been noticeable. And while I appreciate the sustainability aspect, it just feels great to me to know that I'm making full use of every ingredient in the kitchen now. One of my favorite ways to use lard is homemade tortillas. The texture's unbeatable, it's soft, it's flexible, and that's hard to achieve with other fats. And don't even get me started on beef tallow fries. Once you try them, you're never going to go back. So I hope this episode has given you something to chew on. Pardon the pun there, sorry. And maybe it's even inspired you to give lard and beef tallow a try. If you do, I'd love to hear about your experience. Follow me on social media at This Old Baker. Let's keep the conversation going. Share your favorite recipes, your thoughts on traditional fats, and any tips you've discovered along the way. As always, if you've enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe and leave a review. Your support keeps this podcast going, and I appreciate each and every one of you. So until next time, happy cooking, embrace the age-old ways, and let's make our kitchens richer and more flavorful.